Hello and welcome in to McNary High School. Our apologies for the technical difficulties, but we are off now. Sean McPherson and Chris Clayton here with you at McNary for this matchup between South Medford and McNary. You haven't missed much besides an onside kick in which South Medford recovered as they're nearly on the trick play. A near interception from number 3 for McNary. That was Jordan Ariza trying to go up and grab it. But Chris, we were a little bit late getting on the air, but the one thing we did miss was South Medford deferred. They kicked the ball, and they get an onside kick. Bill Singler with some tricks right away.
That's a wild start to the game. McNary, you mentioned, with the onside kick attempt to no avail. South Medford comes out with a halfback pass on the first play. So
that's right.
Coming out swinging.
My apologies. McNary with the onside kick attempt, no good. South Medford recovered, and they get the ball with good field position as there is a handoff. Number 22 for South Medford with the first down, and he is dragged down at the 36-yard line. That tailback was Ryder Sheed, and he gets the first down.
Yeah, Scheid is one of the many ball carriers for South Medford that they're able to utilize. There's a lot of depth and a lot of weapons for this Panthers team that helps them put up a lot of points the last couple years.
So Ryder Scheid gets the first down. Ball at McNary's 37-yard line. Another handoff, this time number 34 for South. Fumbled! He put the ball on the ground, and McNary's got it. McNary recovers the fumble at the 33-yard line. And a lot of action in the first minute of this football game.
Man, what a start. Bradley Fryman with the recovery. Just a clean dislodging of the football. The Panthers looked like they were marching down the field with the ground game, and just like that. It's not exactly how McNary wanted it. The onside kick didn't work, but they wanted to start the game with the ball, and essentially they were able to do it.
So McNary gets the stop. 11:23 left to go in the first quarter. And like you said, Chris, they get the football after all. And here's first down. Inside handoff. A big hit right at the 35-yard line. Looks like that carry went to number 43 for McNary. That is Isaiah Contreras.
Yeah, Contreras is a big physical back. They like to run him between the tackles and pick up some tough yardage, but South Medford did a nice job meeting him at the point of attack.
The quarterback for McNary is Gage Smedema. So Smedema on second down and 8. The screen pass over to the near side to number 5 for the Celtics, who's taken down at the 40-yard line. Number 5 for McNary is Roman Burris, and that sets up a third down and about 6.
Well, McNary playing with confidence. They're looking sharp. They're off to a tough 0-2 start this year, but behind this home crowd, they're playing with some serious confidence to start this game out, making plays.
So ball at the 34-yard line. Less than 2 minutes into this game. A lot of action so far. And here is a third down for the Celtics, wearing their blue jerseys with white numbers and white pants. Out in the flat, that is caught, but not going to be enough for a first down. Big hit by number 5 for South Medford. That is Brown, McConna Brown. And here comes the punt team for McNary.
Yeah, just a sophomore. Brown came through with some power on that hit. That was terrific tackle in the open field by the young elite defensive player.
Jose Martinez was the player who caught that ball and took the lick. And now the punter.
Ingram back for the Panthers.
I can tell you that Ingram is back for the Panthers. Punter looks like number 5 for McNary. That's Roman Burris. Takes a bounce at the 30 and takes a McNary roll. Flag comes flying in as the ball is spotted at the 21-yard line. And let's see what the call is. Came in from the side judge on the McNary sideline.
Yeah, kind of a late flag that was tossed in there, maybe involved in the jostling, hand fighting, and the hits going on downfield in coverage. Not sure.
A waiting signal from the referee. It looks like it's going to go against South.
Yeah.
Not sure if you saw, Chris, but I didn't see what the call is going to be. Maybe a block in the back on a punt?
Yeah, I missed the the specific signal there, but certainly a big illegal block. Yeah, so half the distance, the Panthers moved all the way back to the 11. Get their work cut out for them.
Yeah, ball was originally spotted at the 21, moves them back 10 yards. And with 9:19 left to go in the opening period, it will be South Medford ball from the 11. So here's Colby Shorts out of the shotgun. 2 backs in the backfield. And the handoff will go to number 22. That is Scheid, and he's taken down in the backfield. So McNary comes into this game 0-2. They lost against McMinnville here at home by a touchdown, 26-19. And last week they went to Beaverton, a tough opponent, tough place to play, and they got shut out 21-0. Meanwhile, South Medford 2-0, and last week they went out of the state to earn a victory. Del Norte High School in California, they won 24-6.
The Panthers are off to a great start this year. That's a tough matchup down in California, and played really well the week before that against Mountainside too.
8:44 left to go in the first quarter. Schwartz, screen pass this time to the far side. Number 7 for South Medford. Looks like Duclos was taken down from behind after about a pickup of 7.
Yeah, good little play out in the flat. I think you got the sense that McNary was kind of keying in on those interior runs that South Medford was having so much success with. So the Panthers and Bill Singler said, all right, let's swing it outside. And they got 7 yards out of it.
Bill Singler in year 26 with the Panthers. 6-4 last season. Looking for another great year for South Medford. I formation on 3rd and 5, and I'm not sure the ball carrier has enough. It's going to be close. That ball carrier was number 22, Scheid, and let's see what the referees say. I have a feeling it's going to be a 4th and maybe 1.
Yeah. Well, it looked like they had him at the line of scrimmage, but Scheid did a nice job of showing some power and bouncing off the pile, but still made a nice tackle. He's a little bit short.
Yep, 4th and maybe 1, maybe a couple of inches. And let's see what South does here. They bring in some new personnel. And it looks like they may be punting this, Chris.
Yeah.
So 4th and inches. Bill Singler does not want to roll the dice and brings the punt team out. And now a timeout taken by South Medford. Maybe a little bit more time to decipher this decision.
Well, it's been a game of gutsy decisions so far. An onside kick and some wild affairs up and down so far in this game. And going for it 4th down and 1 is not really too radical, but doing that at your own 20, that's pretty aggressive. So we'll see what South Medford does.
That's right. Here. And look, I mean, this game going in, South Medford obviously a huge favorite, 2-0 on the season, coming off a big out-of-state victory. McNary hasn't won a game in quite some time, going, winless last year. They're 0-2 so far. But on a hot night like this, it's 90-plus degrees. South Medford has to come all the way up across the state. Mm-hmm. Weird things can happen. So you never know if you start and you get a 4th and 1 stop for McNary. They get a little bit of momentum. I think Bill Singler wants to avoid that.
Right. That's a great point. That's where Bill Singler's probably thinking, let's not give this crowd at McNary High School more life than they already have. There's a great group of people here cheering this Celtics team on.
So 7:19 left to go in the first quarter. Thanks for joining us here on Table Rock Sports. A hot night in Salem. The punt is short. It's going to be a fake. The punter's running it off to the right side. A big hit at the 18, and he's going to be just short. That looked like Burris, who came in and made the big tackle, and that was very close. I think that punter got tackled right around the line of scrimmage.
What a play. Gannon Jones was the punter. I think it was a read. They probably told Gannon Jones, hey, if that side of the field's open, just take off and run. And it was before Burris took off in a dead sprint and leveled him at the 20. What a play by Burris.
I'm not sure if it was a read. It was also a bad snap.
Yeah,
so maybe it was an improv type deal for the punter. And now McNary in the red zone already. And that is number 43, Contreras, taking some bodies down to the 15-yard line. And if McNary can capitalize off this, that's a perfect start for the Celtics.
It really is. This is kind of the makings of an upset. You get some early life. You get some bounces that go your way. Great opportunity here early on.
The Celtics are coached by Connor Astley in his second season. 0-9 last year, looking to build this program from the ground up. Another handoff inside Contreras, and he's met right away. That's 76 making that tackle, which is Logan Crocker, the senior.
Yeah, this South Medford defensive line, and it's still early in this game, but they've done a great job so far. They are winning their one-on-one blocks. Crocker is such a force in the middle. He's able to not only shed his block, but tackle a really big physical back in Contreras.
So now it's going to be a 3rd down and about 5 for the Panthers. Colby Schwartz with that's McNary's quarterback, Smedema. And he scrambles out of bounds, only picking up 1 yard. So now a 4th down and 4. What will McNary do with this one?
Well, good play by Smedema. I mean, you don't want to force it into coverage. I think a lot of quarterbacks would have tried to force that knowing it's 3rd down, but he said, let's just run and get some yards and live for another play.
It would be about a 32-yard field goal if they wanted it here, but it looks like the offense is staying on the field. No gain on the last play, so a 4th down and 5. Here's Smedema. Play action. Drops back. Looking at the end zone, and no flags, incomplete. And South Medford gets off the field. They get a turnover on downs, and they will take over at the 15-yard line.
Oh, he had Evan Lawson. Smedema did a nice job of staying patient, looking downfield. He had Grady McQuillan really running right at him for a free rush, but Smedema just gave himself an extra couple seconds, but couldn't find Lawson for the touchdown in the corner.
So with 5:46 left to go in a scoreless first quarter, South Medford takes over. Colby Schwartz under center, I formation for the Panthers. McNary's crowd gets loud. A scramble to the right side. Nice block there from number 34 for South Medford as Schwartz is taken down at the 19-yard line. A key block by Bridger Foss, the other tailback for the Panthers.
Yeah, that's good chemistry between those two. It was Schwartz, the quarterback, who kind of pointed downfield, probably yelled to him, hey, block that guy. And Foss obliged with a, like you said, key block. And instead of a 3-yard gain, it became a 1st down.
So a 15-yard gain. And now at the 30-yard line. High formation once again. The handoff goes. That is Scheid, and it's not getting much. He gets no gain, and that'll set up a 2nd down and 10. Number 87 for McNary thought he recovered a fumble. That's Josh Allen. He was holding up the football to the ref, but I think that was well after Scheid was taken down. So 4:45 left to go in the first quarter. Week 3 of the high school football season. A very hot night at McNary High School. Schwartz rolling left, fires, and that is caught. And stepping out of bounds around the 45-yard line, that is number 2, Johnny Ingram. Nearly broke it for more yardage, but he stepped out of bounds at the 45. Nonetheless, it's another 1st down for the Panthers.
Terrific throw by Schwartz. I mean, that was pretty well covered there by Cameron Ferrando, but Schwartz just put it on the money right over his shoulder to Ingram, who then turned it upfield with his speed for 15 yards.
So according to my research, that is Ingram's first catch this season that did not go for a touchdown. He had 2 catches for 2 touchdowns, 101 yards on the season, but now he has 3 catches, 2 touchdowns.
He's got some serious speed, so you can see why. Just on that play, they were getting an extra 8 yards.
A toss to the near side, and Foss has it, and he's got some daylight. At the 25, across the 20, cuts it inside, and he is taken down just inside the 5-yard line, down at the 3, but a huge run for Bridger Foss.
What a drive for Foss. The crucial block early on this drive to spark the run by Schwartz, and then Foss with, I mean, credit to his offensive line and blockers downfield. He did the kind of the easy part there, but still, big time for Foss.
Looks like the official calls for a timeout, an injured player in the far end zone. But South Medford will have the ball 1st and goal from the 3-yard line, finally starting to find some offensive rhythm, maybe a little bit later than they anticipated. Just about 8 minutes into this game. Tonight's action is brought to you by the Medford Parks and Recreation Department. The Fall Recreation Guide is due out soon with sports leagues and activities to sign up for. Visit playmedford.com or call the Santos Center at 774-2400 to learn more. So I formation, ball at the 3, first and goal. Handoff, Foss, and he is leveled for a loss of about 4. Looks like that was Daniel Cooper coming in to make that big hit.
Yeah, that's big time. Cooper just blew that play up. It was almost like playing Super Tecmo Bowl when you guess the play right. I mean, he was 6 yards in the backfield by the time Foss touched it.
So a loss of about 4, maybe 5. Ball now at the 8-yard line. And once again, this I formation with 2 receivers out to the far side. This time a handoff to Scheid, following his blockers, cutting it inside, and a touchdown for South Medford. Ryder Scheid followed his blockers all the way in, and an easy touchdown for the Panthers on 2nd and goal.
Well, you had that one negative play that Cooper blew up, but outside of that, man, the offensive line for South Medford that drive was dominant. They just opened up massive holes, and outside of that completion to Ingram, it was all work on the ground for the Panthers.
They get the turnover on downs. They took over possession at their own 15, but they drive down 85 yards to take the lead with 3:26 left to play, and now make it 7-0 South Medford Panthers. As we step aside for our first break of the broadcast right here on Table Rock Sports.
My name is Mason Mahaffey. I'm the Solar Pros Manager of Oregon, and I'm also a teacher and a coach here in the Rogue Valley. Have you looked into solar panels and it didn't make financial sense? I brought Solar Pros here to Oregon to make it more affordable for working class families to put solar on their home. Solar Pros is purposely beating our competitors' prices by thousands of dollars because we are that serious about saving you money. Solar Pros PNW provides the most comfortable, educational, and personal solar experience in Oregon. Visit our Facebook page at Solar Pros PNW to see all of our projects and all the families that we are helping save money.
So the touchdown for South Medford makes the score 7-0, and the Panthers had $10 to their Rogue Credit Union Touchdown Club fund. 7-0 for South Medford here at McNary with 3:26 left to go in the first quarter. A little bit of a squib kick is recovered by McNary, and now a gang tackle at the 29-yard line, and that's where the Celtics will take over possession.
We'll see if the McNary offensive line can gain some footing here. A big story in this game so far is, no big shock, but the Panthers are winning the line of scrimmage on both sides of the football. So can McNary's offensive line sink in, open up some holes for this running attack? That'll be really important for the Celtics.
Ball at the 30-yard line for Gage Smedema, the senior quarterback, and his offense. Smedema claps his hands, screen pass off to the right side. That's number 8 for McNary. Dragging it down 5 yards, and that was Evan Lawson for the Celtics, taking it to the 35.
Well, that's a good play there because you don't have to dominate the line of scrimmage with plays like that. I mean, they had Jordan Areza there on the outside blocking, but when you get it to Lawson with his physical presence, just by himself, if he has a little bit of space, he could pick up yards.
2:50 left to go in the first quarter. Smedema with 2 receivers on his left, 1 on his right. Fakes it to Contreras, now scrambles himself. An option play, gives himself all the way to the 47-yard line. And a first down on the quarterback keeper.
How about Smedema there? The physical finish to the run he saw was a defensive back he was facing. He said, I'm going to finish with a little power here. He might have slid if it was a linebacker or D lineman, but that's a good way to energize your team, too, seeing your quarterback with that physicality.
A good start to this drive for McNary. The screen pass and then the read option. Here's Smedema once again. claps his hands. This time an inside give to Contreras. The big body of Contreras bowls his way down to the 49-yard line to set up a 2nd down and 6 after the 4-yard gain.
Pretty simple for McNary, but it's a diversity of plays, right? They did a screen pass up top. They went with an option to the outside. Then they go back to the power to Contreras inside. So they're simple run plays, short, safe plays, but diverse in keeping the Panthers on their toes.
New running back for McNary's, number 24, Yosmani De Dios, and a flag. Let's see what this call is. Looks like offsides against the Panthers. Gio Livingston got a head start, and that will cost Bill Singler's defense 5 yards.
Yeah, Livingston was trying to get a head start on the outside rush there. I got a little excited. He'll get an earful from the coaches for sure.
Yeah, a couple personnel changes after that offsides. No doubt Livingston steps out. Probably for some coaching. 2nd down and 1. Handoff De Dios, and he finds a hole and is dragged down at the 38-yard line. So McNary moving the football here late into the first quarter, down 7-0.
And this is where McNary's struggled this year. I mean, that's just the truth. They haven't moved the ball consistently. They haven't been able to string together drives, and their results have showed that. But today, against a really good South Medford defense, give them credit. They're moving the football and also being smart, avoiding turnovers.
1 minute left to go in the quarter. Ball at the 38-yard line for Smedema. He drops back, a halfback screen. De Dios didn't find much daylight and was spun around at the 34-yard line. And that's where it'll be 2nd down and 6.
I mean, the South Medford defense has power in the front four. They have speed and power in the linebackers, athleticism in the secondary. So the odds are stacked against the quarterback for McNary, Gage Smedema. But his coaching staff is really putting him in a position to succeed with his play calling.
20 seconds left to go in the quarter. Smedema out of the shotgun, handoff again, De Dios, and he's not going anywhere. That is a big tackle from behind by number 45 for South Medford. Gio Livingston grabbed him from behind and spun him down.
Made up for the offsides incident there with a big-time tackle.
And that is going to take us for the end of the first quarter. The end of 1, South Medford 7, McNary 0. So far, a rather competitive game here at McNary High School. The Celtics are hanging in with the number 9 team in the state, the South Medford Panthers, as we step aside here on Table Rock Sports.
They're very curious about your new family member.
Hello.
We built her so we could get a family plan.
Well, with U.S. Cellular, it's just $19.99 per line for 1, 2, or 3 lines.
Oh.
I guess we don't need a 4th line anymore.
This is awkward.
U.S. Cellular, built for us.
Visit U.S. Cellular at Siskiyou, Southern Oregon's exclusive authorized agent for U.S. Cellular, now serving Roseburg and Klamath Falls. See SOUScellular.com for details.
Start of the second quarter, Gage Smedema on 3rd down and 5. And a read option. Smedema breaks the tackle, and he's back going the other way. Smedema's still on his feet, trying to make something out of nothing, and he loses a yard after a lot of running.
Well, that was the greatest 1-yard loss in history. I mean, that was an incredible effort. There was nothing there for Smedema. South Medford read it perfectly. He did everything he could. Finally, Ryder Scheid was able to make the tackle. Great defense by the Panthers. I mean, they were all over it in pursuit, but Smedema did everything in his power.
At one point, it looked like his helmet was coming off, and he had to raise his right arm and try to reattach his helmet middle of the play. It was one of those Johnny Manziel type plays.
That's right.
So 4th down and 7. And McNary's offense is still on the field. Smedema, high snap, rolls out right, looking for somewhere to go with it. Looks like he might take it himself. Instead, he throws it in a drop. They had the first down potentially. A wide open man. That was number 7, Caden Balos-Mazie. Couldn't quite hold on, and that's another turnover on downs, the second of the game for McNary.
Oh, that's a tough break.
Looks like there was a flag.
Yeah.
But not.
I think after the play.
Maybe after the play. It does not change the result besides some yardage. That flag was against South Medford. And I caught it late, so I didn't see exactly what the flag was. But nonetheless, the drive for South Medford will start their own 35-yard line, already with a 7-0 lead. As the weather starting to cool off a little bit on a hot night in Salem, Oregon, at McNary High School for this conference matchup between the South Medford Panthers and the McNary Celtics. First conference matchup of the season after McNary had battles against McMinnville and Beaverton, and South Medford saw Mountainside and Del Norte High School. It's a California school, so I don't have to know how to pronounce it.
That's right.
It's not within my ballpark.
I'm going to go Del Norte, but that's my guess.
Yeah.
So any California viewers can correct us. I think they're trying to figure out exactly where the ball is because, as you mentioned, there was that penalty, and we were waiting for them to march the ball back, but they left it at the 35, which is the original line of scrimmage for McNary on 4th down. So I think they need to march this back, which means they'll also have to march back the chain gang, but it's not our job to sort it out.
They continue to sort that out. It does feel like if the flag was against South Medford, they would be starting further back, and it looks like South Medford's offense
all right, never mind,
is marching up to the 35-yard line. So that's where they'll begin the possession. Under center is Schwartz. Handoff. Once again, that's going to be number 22, Scheid, and he's off to the races with a convoy. Scheid nearly takes it all the way. He was marching on that right sideline, and he takes it all the way down to the 18-yard line.
Are you kidding me? I mean, that's beautiful. That's just powerful, old-fashioned football right there. That's a Bill Singler special, the 26-year head coach. He got Bridger Foss, who is the lead blocker, who almost ran all the way to the end zone with him. I mean, that's just a beautiful power football, perfect execution. That'll bring a tear to an eye to a power football fan.
So now it's 1st down and 10 inside the red zone. This time it goes to Foss, the lead blocker on the last play, gets the toss play, and he picks up maybe 4 yards and is dragged down at the 15.
It's pretty well defended. Good job by McNary in pursuit, but the Panthers will take that. That's what they want. They got, 40 yards last play, but they'll take 4 or 5 yards a pop too. Just good patient running, wait for your blockers to do the work, and just take advantage.
About 2 minutes into the second quarter. A 2nd down and 6 awaits South Medford, already with a 7-0 lead. 2 backs in the backfield. That's Foss and Scheid. Handoff will go to Foss. Scheid is the lead blocker to the near side, and he is chopped down at the 8-yard line. Another pickup of 7 and a 1st down for South Medford.
Another play. They've got J.T. Dalton was the lead blocker out in front of Foss that time, and Dalton didn't have any highlight explosive pancake blocks, but he got a piece of a few guys, and instead of a 3-yard gain, it's a 1st down.
And back to what you were saying earlier, Chris, haven't been a lot of pass plays for South Medford. It's been a lot of running and relying on that offensive line in which they're dominating.
I think they've called maybe 2 pass plays, and they have that 1 completion, but they're just sticking to the script here.
High formation, a little bit of miscommunication on the handoff, but it does not matter. Bridger Foss walks in for his 2nd touchdown of the day, making it 13-0 South Medford.
Wow, well, kind of a weird start to this game with an attempted onside kick and then a Panthers fumble, and teams are going back and forth, but the physicality of the rushing attack for South Medford is really taking control here in the second.
With 9:12 left to go in the first half, South Medford earns their 2nd score of the day, 13-0 with the PAT on its way from number 80 for South. Converting the PAT was Jaden Thonstad, and it is now a 14-0 lead for South Medford, who had to travel a couple hours up north to take on McNary, and so far handling business in Salem. Table Rock Sports is excited to be partnering with Rogue Credit Union once again for the Touchdown Club. Rogue Credit Union will donate $10 for every Black Tornado and Panther touchdown scored this year. Proceeds go to the school's athletic departments. This touchdown by South Medford makes the score 14-0, and the Panthers add $10 to their Rogue Credit Union Touchdown Club fund. So far, South Medford winning this game is a little bit of a sloppy start, Chris, but really just relying on the trenches.
Yeah.
Just walking down the field and running the ball a lot, not even having to pass the ball at all in order to execute these big drives.
Yeah, the quarterback, Colby Schwartz, has made a few nice plays, but really a lot of the work has just been done handing it off, and this kick is blown dead here. Yeah, I think the MVP of this game so far is the South Medford offensive and defensive lines. They're really winning this game for the Panthers.
So a timeout taken by McNary head man Connor Astley. Saw something he didn't like on that kickoff. McNary searching for their first win in quite some time. They went 0-9 last season. 0-2 so far. They had a close matchup against McMinnville, losing by 1 score in week 1 here at home. But still searching for that first victory. Meanwhile, South Medford off to a hot start this year. Mountainside, they defeated at home 42-28. And then going to Del Norte High School in California, 24-6 victory. And now league play has began for both of these teams as McNary fields the kickoff. This is number 7 for McNary, Caden Balos-Mazie, and nearly breaks one, but is dragged down from behind at the 34-yard line, and that is where Gage Smedema and company will take over for their next possession.
Good speed there from Balos-Mazie. He got a little crease there, sprinted to the outside, and this is some pretty darn good field position for McNary now. It feels like a really important drive here. South Medford's starting to really gain control of this game. Even if McNary doesn't come away with points, they cannot give the ball back to the Panthers with great field position.
McNary has found some ways to move the ball on plays like screen passes and some quarterback runs, but have not been able to attack the trenches, attack the defensive line of South Medford. That's where they have lost some steam on these drives. Here's a screen pass again. That's caught on the outside, and with some space goes Jordan Ariza, and he was taken down maybe late at the 45-yard line. He did pick up the first down, but some extracurriculars after this play, but no longer on the field.
Well, there actually is. Early in the play, it's just on the near side. There was a holding, and that's part of why McConnell Brown couldn't make the tackle in the open field. He was held. I believe it was by Ariza who was supplying the block there.
So it looks like this is coming back, and that is unfortunate. Looks like that was number 16
yes.
as the coach comes over
yep.
and kind of pushes them. It doesn't violently push him, but he, gives them a little bit of a coach pat on the helmet.
That was Fryman who had that big fumble recovery early for McNary.
It was Ariza who was the pass catcher on that play, and such a shame for Connor Astley and the Celtics. You find a successful play like that, and it's only a matter of time until South Medford sniffs out those screen passes, because that's been the most successful play for the Celtics. Smedema, a dangerous pass fired in for Evan Lawson, the big tight end. And Lawson is staying down on the field, slow to get up. It'll be a second down, and looks like they lost 7 yards on that holding. So second down and 17.
That was Jacob Dalton in coverage, did a really nice job. And this is where it's tough for McNary when they're in these obvious passing downs. Their offense is not really built for these situations. Not that Schmiedema can't throw, but with the athleticism of the Panthers, it's a tough spot for a quarterback.
3 receivers off to the left side, 1 on the right. The running back, Contreras. Contreras motions over to the receiver spot, and that pass is deflected. That was number 53 for South Medford getting in the mix and immediately getting to the quarterback and making the play, Grady McQuillan. And
sorry, Sean. I was going to say Caleb Morgan, too. Morgan right there to swat the pass away.
So it's going to be a 3rd down and about 18 with 8:46 left to go in the second quarter. Curious to see how McNary plays this one. Do you go conservative and give the ball back to South Medford, or do you take a shot here? Two receivers on each side for Schmiedema on 3rd down and 18. Schmiedema receives the snap. Pressure comes immediately, steps into it, and now will take it himself and get some of the yardage back, but not enough. Picks up about 10 yards on the quarterback scramble. And here comes the punt team for McNary.
Schmiedema is so shifty. He's had some heroic runs today. I mean, there's just not a lot of room there, and he's able to climb the pocket and pick up 10 yards. That penalty on 1st down is really what crushed this drive. We could be singing a whole different tune here if they hadn't had that holding.
Yeah, it was a 12-yard conversion that got called back on that screen pass. And you're right, it totally messed up that drive. Here's Burris, the punter. High snap. And the punt gets away cleanly. It goes straight out of bounds at the 42-yard line or so, and that is where South Medford will begin their next possession.
And here's where the Panthers can really get a stranglehold on this game. Where they've been able to run the football. Look for a lot of Ryder Scheid and Bridger Foss again this drive. Just stick to the script, dominate the line of scrimmage, and they have terrific field position and a chance to take a 21-0 lead here.
It's been a lot of run plays for South Medford. And I doubt that's going to change here with a 14-0 lead. Feels like nothing really to gain in terms of passing the ball until McNary proves they can stack the box and stop the run. So possession begins at the 43. Here's a jet sweep, and this goes to Scheid, and he's wrapped up in the backfield, breaks a tackle, and he's still on his feet. Tough running from Scheid, and he gets across the 50 and picks up 10 yards on what looked to be nothing.
What a run. I mean, he's not the fastest running back in the world, but he is so on balance and strong. He's really difficult to bring down. Him and Foss are kind of similar in that, right, that it usually takes multiple players to tackle them, and he just kept bouncing off guys, and big-time 9-yard run there.
Yeah, officially picks up 9. It's going to be a 2nd down and 1 from the McNary 47. I formation, handoff, Scheid gets a good acceleration and is dragged down from behind at the 36-yard line. Good enough for another South 1st down.
And these Panthers offensive linemen are just firing off the football and winning all of their blocks. Gabe Stazak and Jaden Solis. I mean, just two of those guys on the left side of the line on that play that just dominated their blocks.
6:50 left to go in the first half. South has it at the McNary 37, 14-0 lead. The toss to Scheid, his 3rd run in a row. And he lowers his head and is pushed down at the 25-yard line. Another 1st down for Ryder Scheid.
Well, Foss has the 2 touchdowns, and he just brought just as much effort to blocking on that play as he did on his touchdown runs. He came around the edge and was ready to hit somebody, and he gave Scheid an extra 7 yards or so with a physical block.
One thing important to note here, Chris, that we haven't brought up yet is that Cameron Ragu, the standout running back for South, is out with a concussion.
Yeah.
So here's Scheid, the backup, stepping in, as well as Foss. And Scheid, on his 4th run in a row, jukes around a bunch of Celtics and dives into the end zone. Another touchdown for South makes it 20-0 0 here at McNary High.
Wow. I mean, Ragu is a terrific running back, and South is going to need him this year. But when this South offensive line is blocking like this, I mean, you can kind of plug in a lot of different running backs here. And credit Scheid, who has taken full advantage of this opportunity. A big-time run there, showing some athleticism and speed around the edge.
So South Medford's rushing attack has really quieted this McNary crowd. High snap, and the PAT manages to still be a success, making it 21-0. South Medford. And Chris, I don't think they've passed it since the first drive of the game.
No. It was that completion to Ingram, to Ajani Ingram for 15 yards, and that was, I think, the second possession of the game because the first one they fumbled. But, yeah, I mean, to your point, they're just not throwing the ball. There's no reason to. The way they're winning the line of scrimmage right now, and you know, you've got this coaching staff that loves this approach to the game is be physical and stick to the script, and why not? You know, the reality here is that they have a big advantage here physically over McNary, and I think McNary knew that coming in. They've done their best to stack numbers in the box. It just hasn't been enough. So South is saying, hey, we're bigger, we're stronger, let's take advantage of that, and right now it's playing out on the field.
And look, at this rate, it's going to be a quick game. More run plays, and you know, South Medford, long trip down south after this. You know, you think that they might want to get out of here with a victory, and why throw the football around if you want to do that? The game started with an onside kick from McNary in which South recovered. And now here's South Medford kicking it all the way down to the 5-yard line. And here's number 7 for McNary, breaking loose, Caden Belos Massey. And another good kickoff return from Belos Massey, and he was taken down at the 37-yard line, to which McNary will begin another possession.
Yeah, he's having a great game. It's a couple in a row now. Excellent returns by Belos Massey. He's obviously quick and fast, but he does a nice job of reading the field as well and finding those creases to burst through.
6:01 left to go in the first half. Thanks for joining us here on Table Rock Sports. Sean McPherson and Chris Clayton here with you on the call. The sun has set here at McNary High School, a warm night. And South Medford has taken control in dominant fashion of this football game, 21-0, as the opening handoff goes to Yosmani De Dios. Gain of about 2. McNary hasn't been completely stale offensively. They've found some life. A crucial holding call set them back the previous drive, but just struggling to be consistent, Chris. Some screen passes, some quarterback runs. They've picked up some first downs in this game, but not able to stack those first downs for a big drive.
Yeah, I think they've found a lot that they can work with in the second half, and they do get the ball to start the third quarter too. So there's still a lot to build on for McNary. They just got to produce some points.
Stepping back for a pass play is the quarterback, Smedema, and he finds his big man. That was number 87, Josh Allen, lowering his head and picking up some yardage all the way down to the 46-yard line. A 3rd down and 1 ahead for McNary.
And these are the ones you got to be able to pick up. If you want to compete in this game and have a chance at the upset here with plenty of time left, got to be able to get these yards, extend these drives. You got a really big physical running back in Contreras. Give him the ball, pick up the yard, and keep it moving.
Referee blows it dead. Looks like a timeout by McNary. That's their second of the half. They used one on a kickoff earlier. So 4:42 left to play in the first half, and we will step aside for a very quick break here on Table Rock Sports.
My name's Mason Mahaffey. I'm the Solar Post Manager of Oregon, and I'm also a teacher and a coach here in the Rogue Valley. Have you looked into solar panels and it didn't make financial sense? I brought Solar Pros here to Oregon to make it more affordable for working class families to put solar on their home. Solar Pros is purposely beating our competitors' prices by thousands of dollars because we are that serious about saving you money. Solar Pros PNW provides the most comfortable, educational, and personal solar experience in Oregon. Visit our Facebook page at Solar Pros PNW to see all of our projects and all the families that we are helping save money.
Back at McNary High, 4:42 left to go in the first half. A 3rd down and 1 for Smedema in the Celtics offense. Quarterback keep off the option. Smedema across the 50, picks up the first down. He may have fumbled. Nope, the referee says he is down. And a first down for the Celtics off the quarterback keep.
Well done, McNary. 3rd and a yard. They call a timeout, make sure they've got the right play, and Smedema has been their best offense today. I mean, it sounds simple, but him running or throwing, usually running, has been their best offense. So why not keep it in his hands?
Yeah, 2 best plays for McNary have been the read option and the wide receiver screen.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see if they can use those plays to maybe find some other offense. Get the ball downfield. Smedema, inside handoff, Contreras. And that's Contreras' best run of the day. He marches down all the way down to the 34-yard line, picking up the first down on a gain of about 11.
Well, pretty good job by the Celtics offensive line, but South Medford lost a little bit of gap discipline there. There were guys out of position, not ready for the run. I think they were assuming pass and were trying to get after Smedema. And when you're a threat like Smedema is, that's what happens. The defense is thinking, okay, where's Smedema? And all of a sudden, Contreras has the ball, and he's got a huge lane.
3:35 left to go in the half, and McNary is driving. Smedema inside again for Contreras. Breaks a tackle, still moving his feet, and finally taken down after a gain of 10. We'll see if they call this a first down. Nope, they're going to say second down and very short.
Yeah, Contreras lifts it at 5'11", 210, and he is every bit of that. Powerful, good balance, just keeping north and south there. He's a little bit out of breath right now, but they're leaving him out there.
Yeah, he's certainly a big body there at halfback. And they've been giving him a lot of carries today. South Medford's got 2 or 3 guys they lean on. It looks like McNary more of a, Contreras is their featured guy.
Mm-hmm.
And he will fake it this time and go back to Smedema. And the ball came out once again, and here's a flag coming in. Smedema picked up about 5 yards and the first down. Let's see what this flag is all about.
From here, it just looked like Smedema's helmet popped off, but the official obviously is just feet from the play. We're up here in the booth, so I don't know for sure what happened there. But unfortunately,
he's got to come out.
He's got to come out. He lost his helmet, so the backup quarterback's got to come in there, which is crucial on a drive when they're moving it so well.
Well, the good news
There's a penalty, so I think he can stay in.
Okay, well, it's Davian Cabrera who came in, and now it looks like he's trotting back towards the sideline. Smedema is putting back on his helmet. He's coming back in. So Cabrera does not have to do a snap. And the flag, once again, I apologize, did not catch what the flag was officially here. And now it looks like there may have been a timeout.
So, yeah, they marched it all the way to the 11 with that flag. So just outside of a 1st and goal. And this is, we were talking early in the drive, Sean, McNary needs some points here. They're going to have the ball in the 3rd quarter. Look at this drive. That just what the doctor ordered. They're executing, and this has been their best drive of the game so far.
Yeah, and the clock situation, 2:41 left to go in the first half. South Medford may have to pass it. They do have some timeouts in their back pocket, but South Medford, we've been talking about, hasn't passed the ball in ages. The way the clock is, if McNary can score here and then you make South Medford a little bit uncomfortable at the end of the first half in their 2-minute drill, could have a ball game if they can punch this in. But they have been in this situation already today. They went turnover on downs inside the South Medford red zone. So let's see what they can do this time. Ball at the 11. It was a personal foul of some sort. Didn't quite catch it. But nonetheless, they have the ball at the 11. It's going to be a jet sweep to Ariza, and not much doing there. Maybe a yard for Ariza. It'll be a 2nd down and 9.
Yeah, Livingston did a great job. He read that, came across. He was the outside linebacker on the opposite side, and he's able to chase down Ariza there on the fly sweep and make a tackle. That's a big-time play by Livingston.
2:15 left to go in the half.
I think if you're McNary here, you have no problem. Just let this clock run down, get a touchdown, and don't give the Panthers any time.
So ball at the 11-yard line. Smedema in the gun. Drops back. Pressure comes immediately. Steps in and scrambles out of bounds to the 8-yard line or so. Ushered out of bounds by number 34 for South was Bridger Foss, the running back on the other side of the ball, who pushed him out.
This is a big play in this game because this is when, McNary, they could run the next two plays, but you're getting the sense here they're going to have to throw if they want to score here. The way this South Medford front seven is playing, can Smedema find someone in the end zone with his arm? He almost hit Lawson earlier for a touchdown, remember.
Yeah, that was back early in the game. Feels like 4-down territory. This is 3rd and 7. So not third and goal, 3rd and 7 from the 8-yard line. And it's Contreras. He gets the inside handoff, and they didn't listen to you, Chris. They run the ball, and now that sets up a precarious 4th down. Looks like the ball is going to be placed at around the 8-yard line. A little bit of an awkward angle for us here.
I don't blame them for trying the run because, as you said, it's 2-down territory, so they knew they had this play, but
it went nowhere.
Yeah, and there comes a point when you're going to have to throw. It's coming down to this play here. Can Smedema find an open man?
So 1:13 left to go as the clock continues to tick. Looks like McNary may take a timeout here the way. Yep, timeout. So what happened there was McNary head coach Connor Astley let the play clock run all the way down, took a timeout, and now they're going to take their time dialing this one up with 1:03 left. 4th and 6. Not 4th and goal.
Yeah.
4th and 6 from the 7.
Yeah, that's a good point bringing that up. If they come up short, first down is available at the 1-yard line here. So, it makes sense for Astley to call a timeout here, talk things over with his guys. It's still early in the season. You're still trying to work out the kinks and execute. The Celtics have struggled to finish drives early this season, and they came up short in the red zone once today. This is a big play and a big step potentially in the development of this McNary offense.
So what's the play call?
I'm thinking watch for a tight end leaking out here. Oh, never mind. I'm thinking field goal.
Oh, they're going to kick the field goal.
That's right.
They are going to kick the field goal. Number 84, Cole Peterson, is the kicker, while Gage Smedema, the quarterback, is the holder. So they want to get 3 points here, make it 21-3 with 1:03 left to go. Clean hold. The kick is no good. No good. And so with 59 seconds left, it's going to be a turnover on downs.
And that's deflating if you're a McNary player and fan. They just did such a great job marching down the field that drive. Get to the 11. The South Medford defense bend but did not break. They stepped up, stuffed the run, and then, the missed field goal, which happens in high school football. But I really think what was big is those first 3 plays on 1st and 10 from the 11.
So I formation now. We'll see how South Medford handles this drive. It's going to be a handoff, breaking some tackles, and going down at the, looks like about the 28-yard line was number 22, Ryder Scheid. Clock continues to tick. South Medford appears to be in no hurry here. They still don't want to pass the ball. They're not using their timeouts. Looks like they're comfortable going to the locker room up 21-0.
Yeah, I think in a closer game, I think Bill Singler and the Panthers would probably have their foot on the gas. But you're shutting out your opponent. You're moving the ball so easily. You don't want to gift to McNary great field position, so I understand it.
Inside handoff once again. Scheid jukes outside again, across the 45, across the 50, and twirled down at the 48 of McNary with 4 seconds left. Looks like he was tackled out of bounds. And now, do you look for points at this point? Do you take a shot with the final play?
I'll tell you what, all the Panthers players are. They're saying, hey, let's go for it. Let's take a shot. But we'll see if the Panthers coaching staff obliges.
So 4 seconds left. The clock is stopped.
The way they're running it today, it's almost like a Hail Mary to just run off tackle.
Right. It's an I formation. They're going to run it once again to Scheid. Let's see if he can find enough blockers to get all the way to the end zone. He'll pick up about 8, but he will not get all the way down to that end zone. So that is the end of the first half. Your score, South Medford 21, McNary 0. A dominant first half showing for South Medford. McNary has showed some life, but not able to be consistent enough to make this a competitive ball game. They blew some chances inside the red zone. We'll see what Connor Astley and company can come up with in the locker room to see if they can make this a competitive game. But for right now, South Medford running it all over the McNary Celtics to make this 21-0. As we will step aside for our halftime break. We'll come back in about the middle of halftime for a halftime report. And then we'll be back for the second half right here on Table Rock Sports.
They're very curious about your new family member.
Hello.
We built her so we could get a family plan.
Well, with U.S. Cellular, it's just $19.99 per line for 1, 2, or 3 lines.
I guess we don't need a 4th line anymore.
This is awkward.
U.S. Cellular, built for us.
Visit U.S. Cellular at Siskiyou, Southern Oregon's exclusive authorized agent for U.S. Cellular, now serving Roseburg and Klamath Falls. See SOUScellular.com for details.
Well, taking a pause in the action and a chance to visit with Fred Conzella, our District 549C Athletic Director. We've got some exciting things to talk about. First off, Fred, your new digs here at Oakdale Middle School. My grandson's part of the 6th grade class.
Oh, amazing.
They're really excited about opportunities in the new school.
Excellent, excellent. Well, we're really pleased to be opening our 3rd middle school. And for the first time in Medford School District history, all of our 6th graders are now at the middle school. And with that comes the opportunity to participate in activities such as music daily, band, orchestra, choir,
Excellent.
those types of things, and sports for our 6th grade students. They can participate in cross-country wrestling and track and field. We're really excited.
Yeah, great opportunities for them. The 7th and 8th graders are playing football and are going to eventually make their way to the big stadium on Friday nights. And the big stadium's had some upgrades. I saw a little light show at the South Medford game that opening week, and folks should come out and see and feel the new Spiegelberg Stadium.
It is truly amazing. We redid the track last spring. It's beautiful. And while we had the track torn up, we went ahead and took the opportunity to update our field lighting. We now have LED lights that we can flash, and it's pretty amazing. So come on out and take a look at these lights. We're one of only 3 or 4 districts across the state that have this lighting system. It's beautiful.
And it goes blue and red.
Blue and red light poles. It is amazing. So for all community members, whether you're a North or a South fan or just a Medford School District fan, we have lights for the color of your choice.
Also, some great improvements in athletic facilities going on in the district. North kind of in the spotlight right now with some things happening there that were timely and in need of updating.
That's right. The north turf field is being renovated, and the completion date should be happening in the next 2 to 3 weeks. We're really pleased about that, and we haven't forgot about South Medford High School. On the docket in coming months is, although we don't have it scheduled yet, but the track in the actual track surface at South will need to be replaced in coming months. So we look forward to getting that scheduled and taken care of as well.
Yep. We're really excited to have folks see the new Spiegelberg Stadium and also to have folks come out and have that game experience. Bring your family and bring the kids and feel that tradition. It's some beautiful fall nights, and we're really encouraging folks to come out and see our game.
You know, the stadium is beautiful with the lights and the new track, and we have a place for everybody. And so we also ask families and community members, if you're planning on showing up, one thing we could use your support on is making sure the little ones are supervised, and that includes elementary and middle school students. And that is out of for their safety. Because we don't have game management staff to supervise every nook and cranny of the stadium. So we could use your support with that, families. But also know that we have a middle school seating section for students that attend Medford School District. They just need to bring their student body card. And, of course, the home high school team, those students with an ASP card get in for free, and they have a student section as well. Yeah.
We hope to see folks out there. It's some exciting high school athletics, and come out to all of our events and venues and see these great kids perform.
That's correct. And we just, one of our goals this year in working with Table Rock Sports is to fill the bleachers, to fill them up. We hope to see you at the event. And if you can't make it, of course, you can always stream live at Table Rock Sports. So thank you, Joe, for having me. Appreciate it.
Appreciate it, Fred. And we're going to talk every couple of weeks and keep folks up to date on what's going on.
Sounds good. Thank you all. Have a great week.
Perfect.
Is that good?
That was perfect.
All right.
Game day or a family get-together. Sherm's has the quality products and prices that will make you cheer. Sherm's Thunderbird Market, Medford's original discount grocery store.
Daily adventures this summer start at Pinnacle 365. Accelerate your day with morning motivation. Freshly ground, swiftly brewed. Add some extra crunch to your lunch with our mouth-watering crispy crunchy chicken. The perfect combination of crispy juicy chicken and irresistible flavors. Earn free rewards and save at least 16 cents a gallon with our Peak Rewards app. Get supercharged and add to your fuel savings when you purchase Core Water, Nestle ice cream, and Red Bull. This summer, let's meet at the Peak and save on our daily adventures.
You want diverse venues? We got them. Year-round sports access? You bet. Race cars, soccer, paragliding? Check, check, check. Medford has it covered as your sport ground, where the West Coast plays.
What do you do when a loved one has been wrongfully injured or killed? It's simple. Just go to letusfightforyou.com. That's it. Letusfightforyou.com, helping Oregonians get justice for over 40 years.
Pick it up. Let's go. Come on. Defense. Defense. What am I teaching you at home? Has this kid played before? Shoot it. Oh. Ah. Come on, ref. Open your eyes. Can't you see out there? So, which one's your kid?
The referee.
You can be a parent, athlete, coach, or an official, but you can only be one. Know your role.
So what do you do when you can't work because you were injured on the job? Easy. Just go to letusfightforyou.com. That's it. Letusfightforyou.com, helping Oregonians get justice for over 40 years.
Diverse venues? We got them. Year-round sports access? You bet. Race cars, soccer, paragliding? Check, check, check. Medford has it covered as your sport ground, where the West Coast plays.
Okay, you know how people complain about how Dutch Bros workers are like too nice, too hyper, compliment you too much, whatever. Maybe you're not nice enough. Maybe you need to get a little Dutch Bros in you.
Discover the West Coast destination for those seeking more. More sunny days, more athletic facilities, more outdoor adventures, more to do during downtime. Medford is your sport ground, where the West Coast plays.
Choose a company that best represents you and our local community.
Choose a company that focuses on relationships rather than transactions.
Choose a company that empowers their employees and provides growth opportunities from within.
Choose a company that shows compassion and rises to the occasion in times of need.
Call a John L. Scott broker today.
Any time is a good time to plan your funeral, except at the time of the funeral. At Conger Morris, we know that there are so many advantages to planning ahead. It eases the burden on our families at their worst time. Pre-planning also alleviates their stress, knowing the funeral costs are already taken care of. And it allows your service to be more meaningful, with all of your wishes being taken care of. Call us today for personalized assistance in creating your own plan. Conger Morris, we'll always be there.
Thanks for the ride. I'll see you after the game.
Hey,
Dear Katie, I've been your #1 fan since I watched your first game all those years ago, and I still love watching you play. But I wanted to see you win so badly that my competitive nature got the best of me. I lost track of what's important. I thought I was supporting you, but I was really just embarrassing you. I'm not your coach, and I'm not an official. I forgot my role. I'm your parent, and you deserve better. From here on, I promise to keep my emotions under control. I'll cheer for you and all the other players, no matter the score, no matter the outcome. Thank you for sharing with me how I can do a better job of supporting you, your team, your coaches, and the sports you love. Still your #1 fan. Love, Dad.
Choose a company that best represents you and our local community.
Choose a company that focuses on relationships rather than transactions.
Choose a company that empowers their employees and provides growth opportunities from within.
Choose a company that shows compassion and rises to the occasion in times of need.
Call a John L. Scott broker today.
Any time is a good time to plan your funeral, except at the time of the funeral. At Conger Morris, we know that there are so many advantages to planning ahead. It eases the burden on our families at their worst time. Pre-planning also alleviates their stress, knowing the funeral costs are already taken care of. And it allows your service to be more meaningful, with all of your wishes being taken care of. Call us today for personalized assistance in creating your own plan. Conger Morris, we'll always be there.
Thanks for the ride. I'll see you after the game.
Hey, Dear Katie, I've been your #1 fan since I watched your first game all those years ago, and I still love watching you play. But I wanted to see you win so badly that my competitive nature got the best of me. I lost track of what's important. I thought I was supporting you, but I was really just embarrassing you. I'm not your coach, and I'm not an official. I forgot my role. I'm your parent, and you deserve better. From here on, I promise to keep my emotions under control. I'll cheer for you and all the other players, no matter the score, no matter the outcome. Thank you for sharing with me how I can do a better job of supporting you, your team, your coaches, and the sports you love. Still your #1 fan. Love, Dad.
Welcome back into McNary High School. It is 21-0 in favor of South Medford. We are back from halftime, and McNary will receive the kickoff going from right to left to start the half. Sean McPherson and Chris Clayton here with you at McNary High. It has been a dominant showing for South Medford. McNary has had some life at times in this game, but have failed to capitalize on turnovers and finish off drives. A couple of red zone trips, they've gone scoreless. But here's a big kickoff return to start the second half for McNary. That is number 7, Caden Balos-Massey, and he takes it all the way down to the 46-yard line, and that's how McNary will start the second half.
He's been so good today in these kickoff return situations. He's consistently finding creases, and his blockers are creating holes. So that's kind of been a big bright spot today, is the kickoff returns for McNary.
But like I said, McNary has had some promising drives fall short. At the very end of the first half, they went turnover on downs. They missed a field goal. 2 separate turnover on downs, one of which they went for it on 4th down and failed to convert. And at the very end of the first half, as there's a screen pass to the big tight ends, that's Evan Lawson, dragged down after about 2 yards. The very end of the first half, McNary chose down 21-0 to kick the field goal, and it went wide left. And so that's how McNary is still getting shut out in this game. They had a chance for points there. They chose to kick the field goal and missed it.
Yeah, it was a very promising drive. Is impressive rushing attack from Contreras and Schmedema. So and maybe they can tap into some of the positive plays they found in that drive. Still a lot of game left. Got to find a way to finish in the red zone.
Ball at the 48-yard line. High snap. Schmedema fields it. Handoff Contreras. He spun around, and he gets to the other 48-yard line. Pickup of 4, and it'll be a 3rd down and 5 upcoming for McNary. We'll see how aggressive McNary is in this game. I mean, like I said, Chris, a little bit of a questionable call at the very end. The ball was at the 7-yard line, about a minute left. 4th and 6 they had, and they chose to kick the field goal, which to me was a little bit of a sign of, okay, we're not playing against South Medford. We're playing against ourselves here and seeing what we can do.
Yeah, it's a 3-possession game either way. Maybe just wanted the confidence boost of getting some points on the board. Didn't work out, though.
Quarterback keep. That's been a successful play for McNary here. Schmedema looks like he was just short as he took it himself through the middle, and it's going to be a 4th down and 1. And the offense will stay down on the field. Shotgun formation for Schmedema. 4th down and 1 from the South Medford 45. South Medford showing blitz. Contreras lines up on Schmedema's left shoulder. Schmedema fields the snap. He's going to pass it. Drops back. Contreras in the flat. 1st down and a little bit more. Contreras reaches the ball and steps out of bounds at the 42-yard line. A nice 4th down conversion. 4th and 1. They chose to pass it, but it was proven a good play call.
Yeah, great execution. We saw some issues going to the air in that first half, completing passes, but good job by Schmedema in the face of pressure. Just put it on the money to Contreras there for the 1st down.
So another promising drive for McNary. Had a couple of those this game, but no points to show for it. 2 receivers out to the right, 1 tight end behind the offensive line. Here's a new tailback for McNary. It's number 41, Cameron Ferrando. His first handoff of the day, or his first carry of the day, I should say. Gets about 3. It'll be a 2nd down. So McNary's been leaning on Contreras, big number 43, all game, but now they are mixing in some other running backs. This is Ferrando. 2nd down and 7. Schmedema claps his hands, drops back to pass. He'll throw it into the flat, and that is dropped. Schmedema put it in the right spot, but Evan Lawson couldn't hold on. It's incomplete, and now will be 3rd down and 7.
I think McConnell Brown got a piece of that too for South Medford, the sophomore. Excellent in coverage, diving in. And at the very least, he obstructed the vision of Lawson. So excellent coverage there by McConnell Brown. He is just such an impressive young defensive player for the Panthers.
Now a 3rd down and 7. Ball at the 36-yard line. 2 receivers off to the left, 1 to the right. Contreras the back. And a flag, a false start, is going to be called against McNary. And we've seen this a couple times today where flags have killed drives for the Celtics. And 3rd and 7 will now become 3rd and 12, which is going to be a lot harder.
Yeah, that's drive earlier that was single-handedly killed by a holding. And now this one moved back. And this is where it's been tough, is these obvious passing downs where the Panthers pass rush can just kind of tee off, get after Smedema. We've seen a lot today. This is where Smedema's had to run for his life and just try and make something from nothing.
8:59 left to go in the 3rd quarter. So now 3rd down and 12. 1 receiver by himself on the near side. 2 receivers out to the left. Contreras the back on Smedema's left shoulder. Smedema will roll left. Pass rush is there. A flag comes in. Smedema fires it in, and that is caught short of the 1st down by Josh Allen. Let's see what the flag is.
I think it's a hold, unfortunately. Great play by Smedema, finding Josh Allen downfield, but probably coming back here.
Smedema's made some nice throws here today. Some have been dropped. But he's made throws like that, and here's one where it's probably going to be a penalty that cost him that nice throw. And, yep, they're going to walk this one back. If that wouldn't have been a penalty, we would have had 4th and maybe 2. But instead we're looking at 3rd and a lot of yards.
It's like 3rd and 22 by my calculation. Not ideal. As we just talked about last play, same narrative as the pass rush for South Medford has been getting through so consistently. Got to find a way to give the receivers time to get downfield on a play like this.
A net loss of 20 due to that holding. So 3rd and 22, Smedema. The quarterback claps his hands, and he's going to pass it. This time he rolls to the opposite side, the right side. Pass rush is there, and Smedema doesn't have enough arm to get to his receiver, Jordan Areza. And now it looks like the punt team is coming out for McNary.
Well, Gabe Stazak showing the versatility. A big guy with some speed there, chasing after Smedema, who did a nice job scrambling. If he had hung in there in the pocket, he would have been blown up from behind by Livingston. So good pocket awareness to escape and just throw it away and hope your defense can make a play.
Roman Burris, the punter for McNary, lines up about 15 yards back.
Remember earlier, McNary got their hat on the ball and forced a fumble in the first drive of the game. So if they're going to come back here, this is a moment when South gets the ball back. They need another turnover.
Burris fields the snap. Gets the punt off cleanly. A nice spiraling punt. And this is fielded, and getting taken down immediately was Austin Huffling. And there is an injured McNary Celtic down on the field, number 41. Cameron Ferrando, hope he's okay. Still a 10 to Ferrando with 8:41 left to play in the 3rd quarter. It'll be South Medford football at around the 25-yard line, and as they attend to Ferrando, we will take a quick break here on Table Rock Sports.
It takes meticulous planning, continuous monitoring, and forward thinking to deliver the perfect 3-egg omelet.
Come enjoy the patio weather and a brand new menu at Tap Rock Northwest Grill, where friends and family gather and memories are made. Come visit us today or visit our website.
So Ferrando was helped to his feet, and now it's a 1st down and 10 for South Medford. And the first pass play in quite some time for South Medford. It's a screen pass, and that is caught by a Johnny Ingram, who broke some tackles, but still only picked up about 6 yards. And so we recall that the last pass play we had seen from South Medford was an Ingram screen pass, I believe, as well. Or it was a completion to Ingram. But that was all the way back at the very start of the game. All first half, it was run, and more running for South Medford.
Yeah, they have 2 completions and 3 total pass plays. And that third pass play, Schwartz just took off and ran. So it just stuck to the ground game, and they have more than 200 yards of rushing so far.
Here's another run play. Toss to the left side for Scheid. Ryder Scheid was chopped down after a pickup of about 5. Should be a 1st down for South Medford. Like we mentioned earlier, a key running back is out for South Medford in this game. Cameron Ragu suffered a concussion in the first half of the game against Del Norte. He sat for the rest of the game. Ryder Scheid and Bridger Foss stepped in and helped South Medford earn a 24-6 victory over the team from California. And hopefully this South team can have Ragu back soon, but doing pretty darn well with these other 2 running backs.
Yeah, it's a testament to the depth that they have in the backfield, but also to the offensive line. And, you know, it's a good precaution to keep Ragu out. He's a guy that they'll need if they want to win a conference championship and make a run in the playoffs. But they're still a dangerous team just with Scheid and Foss. Those are very capable running backs in their own right.
Well, they're both in the backfield here on this play. And now Foss lines up in the tight end spot. A reverse to Foss. Creative play call by Bill Singler. Here's Foss with some space, and he follows his line all the way down to the 30-yard line.
Love it. That was awesome. Yeah, I mean, we saw a lot of simple, just powerful plays in that first half, like power toss, dive, off tackle. But in the second half, we've seen the Panthers open up the playbook a little bit. They went with a screen pass. They go with that kind of misdirection play. It's cool to see South Medford kind of working on executing these plays in the playbook as well.
Yeah, and up 21-0, it could be a good time to practice some of those plays. Get a little bit creative. And now here's Scheid all by himself. Green grass and a touchdown for Ryder Scheid. A late flag comes in. Looks like an after-the-play flag, but Ryder Scheid from 29 yards out earns another touchdown. If this stands, it's 2 for Bridger Foss and 2 for Ryder Scheid on the day.
Terrific patience there by Scheid. He just waited for the blocks to develop. There's just so much trust in these running backs right now in the blockers in front. They're kind of thinking, I'm just going to wait a second here, and my blockers will probably create a big hole for me, and that has held true throughout the game. So excellent patience and even better blocking by all of his teammates as they have done all game.
So the flag was against South Medford. The touchdown stands. It was an after-the-play flag. And now the PAT team is on for the Panthers. I believe this will be assessed on the kickoff. Kick is up and good. So 28-0, the lead for South Medford. The touchdown for South Medford makes the score 28-0. And the Panthers add $10 to their Rogue Credit Union Touchdown Club funds. Not sure if you caught it, Chris, but a flag went against South. Believe it's going to be assessed on the kickoff, but we will see.
Yeah, I did not catch it either from our angle up here in the booth, but I think you're right. There was no impact on the PAT there.
So 6:44 left to go in the third quarter. South Medford with a 28-0 lead. The Medford Parks and Recreation Department invites you to discover all the great classes, field trips, and activities and sports leagues for the fall and winter seasons coming up. Visit playmedford.com to find something for everyone in the family. Yep, looks like the flag is going to back up this kickoff 15 yards, usually from the 40. South Medford will kick up 28-0 this next kickoff from the 25-yard line. Tonight, it has been a rushing attack for South Medford. 2 touchdowns for Ryder Scheid, 2 touchdowns for Bridger Foss. It's been an equal share, and they are dominating in the trenches tonight. A squib kick goes right to number 8. That's going to be Evan Lawson, who is tackled at the 39-yard line. And Lawson's now slow to get up. Eric Toney made the tackle. Lawson stays down on his back.
Wow, Eric Toney, that was great coverage. Toney got downhill, full sprint, laid down a big hit there on Lawson, who unfortunately is shaken up. And that part of the reason they squibbed it is they don't want to kick it downfield to Balos Massey, who's been so good returning kicks. So unfortunately for Lawson, Balos Massey's greatness as a return man made him receive that ball and take that hit.
Unfortunately, it's the second player hurt in the last matter of minutes for McNary. We see Ferrando on the track with an ice pack around his shoulder. And now at the training table, he's joined by another teammate. Hopefully both teams can get out of here healthy. 6:40 left to go in the third quarter, 28-0. South Medford in control. Contreras, the inside give, and he's spun around, picks up maybe 2.
Yeah, it's it. For South, it'll be their third win of the year here, and that, it's can be ho-hum for South Medford, but it's a good story when you consider that they only won 2 games 3 years ago. They went 2-8, 6-4 last year, and they're top 10 right now and on the brink of 3-0. This is a team that's kind of getting back to more what they're used to, which is being around a top 10 team in the state.
That's right. After this game, South Medford will be back at home to play South Salem, as conference play is fully underway for both of these teams, and a delay of game is called against McNary. Meanwhile, McNary will face Sheldon in Eugene. It's always a tough game.
That's a gauntlet of a back-to-back, South Medford and then Sheldon.
Yeah, Sheldon last year's state runner-up. They lost to West Lynn in the state championship. And I know that Sheldon lost a game to a team from Hawaii in week 1. They really challenged themselves in week 1, facing a team from Hawaii, and got beat up on a little bit, but Sheldon looks to have a pretty good team again this year. As here's Smedema, rolls out right, faces some trouble, gets rid of it, and that is a completed pass on 2nd and long. He found his man, number 18 for McNary. That was Cameron Harrington, picking up about 8 yards, and now it'll be 3rd down and 7.
It was a dart on the run. That's a tough throw. Just put it in a tight window there for maybe the best throw of the game we've seen so far. And you mentioned earlier he's had a couple drops from receivers. He's had pressure on him all game. It was a courageous effort by Smedema today.
Smedema, bubble screen, off to Ariza. Ariza across the 50, jukes inside, flag comes flying in, and Ariza is spun around at the 35-yard line. But once again, the story of the night for McNary, assuming this flag is against McNary, is a penalty, brings back a big play.
Oh, that's so frustrating. I mean, McNary is so close to executing these plays. And I think it was Fryman again on the holds. He didn't necessarily have to either. He was maintaining his block so well. If that defender is disengaging from your block, there comes a point you've just got to let go and trust that the ball carrier will be able to make a cut if necessary, and just held on a little too long. That's that half second or full second extra where you try to maintain your block, and it just completely destroys the play, and unfortunately that was the case there.
Yeah, a few things will make a coach more angry, and I mean, that's multiple times where a big screen pass, a successful screen pass is called back for a hold. So there's one thing to work on at practice this upcoming week for Connor Astley and his coaching staff. It's limiting those holding penalties, because that's really holding McNary back from a lot of big plays. Not to mention some of the false starts, delay of gains that have put them in trouble to start these drives, as Smedema runs right into his own teammate and is unable to evade the pass rush of South Medford. He'll lose a couple yards, and that was third down. Now it'll be fourth.
Yeah, it was Livingston and McQuillan there in the backfield. So, again, it was the holding that kind of ruined that drive. And it's an example of what we're talking about, is the challenge that McNary has in this game and how they can grow from this. They're going to be able to go back and watch film and in practice this week, and they'll say, hey, these screen passes, we were so close. If we stop holding, we can have that. And that's something they'll improve on for sure.
A good punt for McNary. Takes a friendly bounce for the Celtics. Punt returner is number 23, Wyatt Jennings, and a pretty solid punt return all the way down to the 35-yard line. And we'll see what kind of personnel changes South Medford makes in this lopsided game. It looks like it might be a new quarterback. It looks like number 12 will be the new quarterback for South Medford. That is going to be still Colby Shorts. Excuse me.
Yeah, so not yet, but you would think maybe this is the final drive. It's still pretty early in the season, so I think the Panthers are probably still trying to work out that playbook and get some more reps for the first teamers.
It'll be a near side toss for a new tailback. That is a bulldozing play by number 20, Ty Flowers, rather. Completely ran a man over, and some extracurriculars after that play. I think Flowers may have gotten a little bit too excited. This may be coming back a little bit.
That was, like you said, he might have had the personal foul after the play, but my goodness, that was a violent run by Flowers. He saw a defender waiting for him, and unfortunately he does get the unsportsmanlike conduct, but holy cow. He's only a sophomore, so type of mistakes you'll see from the younger guys, and he learned his lesson that, hey, if you make a fantastic run like that, it's all for naught if you commit a penalty. So he'll get an earful, but we can see his potential as a running back on full display.
That's right. His first carry of the game makes a play like that.
Yeah.
It's been waiting all game to come in and make a play, and that he does, but it's coming back. Now it'll be first down and 10.
So it's after the play foul. So
yep, first down and 10. 31-yard line. Handoff to the strong side, and it was a sweet play for number 40. Looks like that was Wes Boyd.
So they haven't made the change at quarterback yet, and the starting offensive linemen are still in there, but they're trying to keep Scheid and Bridger Foss fresh, and they're getting a lot of snaps on defense too. So you don't want to overwork Scheid and Foss. Got a big game against South Salem next week. They're saying, all right, let's get some new bodies in there running back and keep most of the first teamers in there.
Well, Scheid and Foss have gotten a lot of carries today, taking a lot of hits. As there's a flag on the play, Boyd got another toss, took it for a first down, but this may be coming back. Boyd got all the way down to the 50. Penalty flag on the 33. An injured McNary player, number 72. Josh Perez trots off with his helmet off.
Wes Boyd, 40 in white, looking like Mike Allstott out there, sport number 40. He looked like Allstott on that run, too. I really hope, you'd have to ask him, that his inspiration of wearing number 40 is Mike Allstott, because we don't have enough players trying to emulate Mike Allstott.
That's right.
We saw a little bit of that on that run. That was a tough physical run, and it looks like the penalty is on McNary, too.
And, Chris, I may be too young, but forgive me, I'm a big football fan. I don't even know who Mike Allstott is.
Really?
And maybe that's part of the problem.
These viewers are going to be disgusted. No, he's a legendary fullback for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, one of the greatest fullbacks of all time.
Wow. It says a lot about my age and then also where football has gone.
Right.
Not a lot of glorification of fullbacks. Here's a big run. Here's Ty Flowers once again, getting all the way down to the 5-yard line. Another big hit by Flowers. And South Medford, with a big play, is back within the 10-yard line of McNary.
Great run by Flowers, but if I may, we still have to give our flowers to the offensive line. I mean, they are still in a game in which it's basically out of reach. There's plenty of reason to be apathetic and lazy, and they are just creating massive holes and doing their jobs to the final whistle.
Inside handoff, Flowers looking to finish the drive, and he is taken down from behind at the 3-yard line. Be a second down and goal. With 2:09 left to go in the third quarter. Now an I formation. And a QB sneak. And Schwartz does it himself, it appears. Still waiting the signal.
Quarterback. Keeper.
Touchdown.
Touchdown, South Medford.
So this time, Colby Schwartz, the quarterback, earns himself a rushing touchdown. The 5th rushing touchdown of the day, the 5th touchdown of the day for South Medford. And that puts them up 34-0.
Well, Schwartz doing such a great job commandeering this offense. Hasn't had to do anything spectacular today, but he's done his job. He's a leader on this team. He took care of the ball. He made a few throws when they needed it. So he deserves a touchdown.
PAT is up and good, and it is 35-0 with 1:48 left to go in the third quarter. All South Medford, they continue to dominate. They are looking to shut out McNary here on the road at McNary High School. We'll step aside for a quick break. 1:48 left to go in the third quarter. All South Medford here on Table Rock Sports.
Thanks for the ride. I'll see you after the game.
Hey, Dear Katie, I've been your #1 fan since I watched your first game all those years ago, and I still love watching you play. But I wanted to see you win so badly that my competitive nature got the best of me. I lost track of what's important. I thought I was supporting you, but I was really just embarrassing you. I'm not your
Back from break. Your scores: South Medford 35, McNary nothing. Here at the tail end of the third quarter, Ariza fields the kickoff across the 25 and down at the 32-yard line goes Ariza. And it looks like a running clock here as we're below 1:30 left to go in the third quarter. And it looks like 28-0 was not a running clock, and 35-0 is a running clock. So something to keep an eye on for the rest of this ball game. And now it looks like that may have been a mistake. The clock stops at 1:11. So maybe not meant to be a running clock right now. So first down and 10 for the Celtics. You look at this conference, Chris. North Salem, currently the #1 team in the state, and oftentimes these OSAA rankings can be a little bit inaccurate based on who teams play, strength of schedule, all those things. But North Salem currently sitting at number 1 in the state. I know they have some good players on that team. And then South Medford currently sitting at number 8 in some rankings, number 9 in some rankings, as the first down handoff goes about 5 yards. And then you got South Salem, who is the next opponent for South Medford, right behind them at number 9 in the state. So you also have a team like Sheldon, who, like I mentioned, played a really tough game week 1. Maybe that tanked their rating a little bit, their ranking. But a really good conference this year.
It is, and those rankings, they matter. I mean, it's still early, like you said. Things will certainly move a lot, especially Sheldon probably racks up a lot of wins. But, if the computers are looking at your team favorably, then it helps you at the end of the year. You want those important playoff seedings to maximize how many home games you get down the stretch. And, these teams in this conference certainly have high hopes come playoff time.
A sweep play to the left side for number 6, a new running back, Jeremiah Tracy for McNary. That picks up the first down for the Celtics, and that is the end of the third quarter. Your score at the end of 3, South Medford 35, McNary 0. McNary currently driving down the field. Let's see if they can put some points on the board in the fourth quarter. That is up next here on Table Rock Sports.
Game day or a family get-together. Sherm's has the quality products and prices that will make you cheer. Sherm's Thunderbird Market, Medford's original discount grocery store.
Daily adventures this summer start at Pinnacle 365. Accelerate your day with morning motivation. Freshly ground, swiftly brewed. Add some extra crunch to your lunch with our mouth-watering crispy crunchy chicken. The perfect combination of crispy juicy chicken and irresistible flavors. Earn free rewards and save at least 16 cents a gallon with our Peak Rewards app. Get supercharged and add to your fuel savings when you purchase Core Water, Nestle ice cream, and Red Bull. This summer, let's meet at the Peak and save on our daily adventures.
You want diverse venues? We got them. Year-round sports access? You bet. Race cars, soccer, paragliding? Check, check, check. Medford has it covered as your sport ground, where the West Coast plays.
Start of the fourth quarter. Sean McPherson and Chris Clayton on hand. Maui Kalama on camera here for us at McNary High. A one-sided affair so far between South Medford and McNary. McNary currently driving down the field, down 35-0. Handoff inside, goes about 8 yards. The ball carrier was Tracy once again. The student section still making noise.
Yeah, they're into it. And we did receive word South Salem's up 33-7 at Grants Pass. So just with our discussion of how good the conference is this year, I mean, South Medford, North Medford, South Salem, North Salem. There's a lot of good teams coming out of District 1 this season. It'll be interesting to see how teams kind of beat up on each other as the year progresses.
That's right. I mean, you look at North Salem as there's a quarterback, Keat, and here's Smedema finding some room off to the left side, and he's spun around. This could be a late hit. Tack on 15 more yards. 2 flags come flying in, so about a 20-yard gain for Smedema, and some extracurriculars may tack on even more yardage.
The South Medford bench doesn't like it. They're saying, hey, he spun him out, and he just kept falling. But the official was right there, so I think he had a good view of what happened on the play. Certainly want to protect the ball carrier when the play looked like it was over there at the 20.
Yeah, so 15 more yards. McNary may have their best shot yet to put some points up on the board. But just to finish my point, North Salem currently the number 1 team in the state, or rather, North Salem. 35-6, they won week 1 against Roosevelt, and 55-0 against David Douglas. So not sure how good those teams are, but to be able to beat up on teams like that, and they have some D1 level talent on that team, I know. That could be a good team. And OSAA certainly believes so, number 1 in the state right now. Shotgun snap. First and goal from the 10-yard line. That pass was deflected. Nice play. Getting his paws on it was number 53, Sean Cox. Rather, number 53 for the other side, Grady McQuillan.
McQuillan's, he's really good. I think it's That's all you can say about him. He is everywhere. He's got such a great combination of power and speed, and he reads plays so well. We've seen him in run support today. We've seen him rushing the quarterback. We've seen him batting down passes here and there. He's just been so active and just a junior, a crucial part of this South Medford defense.
So running clock once again. It's been back and forth, but as of right now, it's a running clock with 9:10 left to go in this game. Second and goal from the 10-yard line. Smedema with his tailback on his left side. Quarterback keep once again. And that will be a loss of yards as Smedema was tackled in the backfield.
Tell you what, I thought maybe he fumbled there. It looked like he might have fumbled, but was able to corral it. And just another example of what we've seen a lot today. Smedema just running for his life, trying to make a play. Riley Perkins doing a nice job defensively, penetrating into the backfield. And South Medford still playing with a lot of effort here, trying to maintain this shutout down the stretch.
McNary's really struggled once they get to the red zone.
Yeah.
They've done the hard part in getting all the way down to the red zone inside the 20, but they're 0 for 2 so far. No points to even show for some of their red zone trips. Like I mentioned earlier, they came away with a turnover on downs very early in the game. They had a chance to kind of have a different start to this game if they execute there. And then end of the first half, down 21-0, they go for a field goal on fourth, and they miss the field goal. Rolling to the right side, Smedema lasers a pass, nearly intercepted. It was nearly intercepted by Bridger Foss. Still playing some defensive snaps for South Medford. So now here's the same decision as earlier. Let's see if, as an injured player is down on the field, we'll see if Connor Astley handles this differently in terms of kicking a field goal or going for it from the 15-yard line. But as of right now, they need to attend to the injured player, which is Ariza, number 3.
Looked like just a cramp. They stretched it out real quick, so that's a good news. Yeah, I think if you told McNary head coach Connor Astley before the game, okay, you're going to have 3 trips to the red zone with the ball, and you're going to force a fumble, he would probably think, okay, you know what, I think we have a chance here, but that hasn't been the case. They come up short both times the red zone so far, and on that fumble drive, they weren't able to get anything from it. So it's just about the details, avoiding holdings, avoiding penalties, finishing drives. McNary hasn't done that today, unfortunately.
Offense is staying on the field here for 4th down and goal from, say, the 14-yard line. A pass play. Smedema throws it short, and no chance there. A gang tackle by South Medford. Still pounding his feet was number 14. Jose Martinez, but he's not an aggressive play call, not an aggressive throw if you're trying to score a touchdown on 4th and goal. That pass is around the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, so testament to the South Medford secondary, too, that just players are not popping open downfield. And, that'll be something that South Medford has an advantage over against a lot of teams in conference play, is that you've got guys like McConna Brown, Ajani Ingram. I mean, those are 2 ridiculously good corners that haven't had their name called a lot today besides McConna Brown on a couple plays because there hasn't been a lot of downfield throws. You combine those cornerbacks with the pass rush of South Medford, it's a crazy good defense the Panthers have.
So now we have the backup quarterback in for the Panthers, and it is going to be McConna Brown, who you were just highlighting as a defensive player. He gets his shot at quarterback. So the day is done for Colby Schwartz. McConna Brown's first play as the backup quarterback is going to be a first down off the toss play. 10-yard pickup.
It's a great run by Ty Flowers. Unfortunately, Flowers has a couple of personal fouls today, but when he's had the ball, he is making plays. By the way, a firework went off in the distance. That's why we had a random ovation. I don't know what from, but.
Didn't catch that. Inside handoff. And nothing really going on this play, but making something out of nothing was Wes Boyd. It was the quarterback and the running back ran into each other, and Boyd was in the backfield, lost, but is able to get back to the line of scrimmage and pick up 2 yards.
And that's why it's beneficial to get these younger players some varsity snaps, is working out those kinks, like getting out of the running back's way, or which side do you hand the ball off on, and those details that they get in JV games, but getting it against a varsity defense in McNary is very beneficial for these players that have such a bright future and could be a bright present. I mean, guys like McConnell Brown and Boyd, they might need them moving forward this season.
Inside give once again, and about 8 yards, and that is Alex Gomez getting his first carry of the day. And the running clock has us at 4:35 left to go in this game. Don't expect South Medford to pass the ball again. They seem content running down the clock and running the football.
Yeah, this McNary front seven defensively is gassed. I mean, they're tired. They have been on the field a lot today. They have taken a beating and abusing offensive line for South, so it's tough to defend.
Another big hole opens up for Gomez, his second carry of the day, and another positive carry, this time for about 12 yards and a first down all the way down to the 45, and a flag comes in after the play. Let's see who against. Looks like it may be coming back, and Bill Singler's walking away from this game happy overall, but some of these personal fouls, especially from some of these players who've been waiting to play, some of the backups, has to be making him upset.
Yeah, you said it earlier. Nothing frustrates a coach more than unnecessary penalties. And as well as South Medford's played today, they definitely have some unnecessary penalties to the tune of personal fouls and unsportsmanlike conducts. So, you have to toe the line between being aggressive and tenacious and also avoiding penalties. And I think South sometimes today, we've seen maybe 4 or 5 times now, these personal fouls. You've got to be smart. You don't want to set yourself back, because if they're in a close game against South Salem next week, these personal fouls could be the difference between a win and a loss.
That's right. We were just talking about how good their conference is going to be this season, and may not be struggling right now against McNary, but they're going to see tougher competition and can't have penalties like that. So 3:55 left to go. It's the backup quarterback. And here's a big carry. Wes Boyd nearly broke it, but was chopped down at the 50-yard line.
How about the burst? I mean, he's a kind of more of a bruising physical back, but maybe he would take offense to that. He would say, hey, I've got some speed too. I mean, he accelerated through that hole and almost kept his balance to get all the way for a touchdown.
Ball now at the McNary 48-yard line. McConnell Brown is the backup quarterback in. Colby Shorts' day is done, as is Ryder Scheid. His day is done. And now it's back to Gomez, and he finds maybe 4-5 yards or so.
Just think about all the depth of the ball carriers that South Medford has. I mean, starting running back Ragu is out today. Bridger Foss, Ryder Scheid, you have Wes Boyd, you have Alex Gomez, who's a capable running back. And it's just such a great luxury to have, to keep bodies fresh and run behind this great offensive line. This is going to be a tough Panthers rushing attack for any defense to stop this year.
Toss to the right side, back to Wes Boyd. And he's met right away by a couple of Celtics. Pickup of 2 for Boyd, with 2:25 left to go in this ball game. So 5 rushing touchdowns for South Medford today. It was split between Bridger Foss, who had 2 touchdowns, the first 2, and then the next 2 touchdowns were Ryder Scheid, and then their most recent touchdown was a quarterback keep by Schwartz, who is now watching from the sidelines. All of those players' days are done. A toss to the strong side, and a big block comes in, and still on his feet is Gomez following his blocks, and chopped down at the 25-yard line, and Gomez stays down on the field, holding his knee.
Oh, I hate to see that. Gomez was running so well. He's come in this drive, and he is reading the holes. He's making plays. He's marching the Panthers down the field. Had an incredible block by Wes Boyd in front of him that time to spark Gomez's longest run so far.
So Gomez is down and in pain with 1:40 left to go. And as they attend to Gomez, we will take a quick break here on Table Rock Sports.
Diverse venues, we got them. Year-round sports access? You bet. Race cars, soccer, paragliding? Check, check, check. Medford has it covered as your sport ground, where the West Coast plays.
Okay, you know how people complain about how Dutch Bros workers are like too nice, too hyper, compliment you too much, whatever? Maybe you're not nice enough. Maybe you need to get a little Dutch Bros in you.
Discover the West Coast destination for those seeking more. More sunny days, more athletic facilities, more outdoor adventures, more to do during downtime. Medford is your sport ground, where the West Coast plays.
So Alex Gomez, number 4 for South Medford, is currently being helped off the field. Really hope that he's okay. He was running so well for South Medford, and real bummer to see him get hurt with this little amount of time left in the game.
Yeah, as a senior too, having a great game and trying to go out strong in his senior season, and of course he still can, but we'll see what happens moving forward. Hopefully just something minor, and he can bounce back quickly, but being carried off by his teammates right now.
So 1:40 left to go. Running clock, not currently running, but now they wind the clock, so maybe 2 more plays left in this game until both teams shake hands and call it a game. And there's your quarterback, Neal. That'll take another 30 to 40 seconds off the clock. That'll be second down. So South Medford will improve to 3-0, while McNary will fall to 0-3. South Medford currently sitting on a number 9 ranking in the state. While McNary is currently number 42 in the state.
Sorry, Sean, I was going to say, full transparency, the way the math works out, this win I don't think it helps South Medford. It actually might hurt them a little bit because they're facing an opponent who is number 42. But there's so many highly ranked teams in the conference that it doesn't, it's not the end of the world, right? So no panic from Panthers fans if they check the OSAA rankings next week and the Panthers have dropped to 12 or 13. If the Panthers take care of business and pile up the wins, that math will all sort itself out. It's just win in advance if you're South Medford.
Well, South Medford does just that in week 3 of high school football. They come up north to McNary, and they come away with a 35-0 victory over the Celtics. A rushing attack on offense with 5 rushing touchdowns from 3 different players. And then defensively, kind of a bend, don't break philosophy, not allowing any points with 3 different red zone trips from the Celtics and pitching a shutout against the McNary Celtics. So a very impressive performance from South Medford. Just got to clean up a couple of flags, and I think they'll be looking forward to getting Ragu back from a concussion whenever that time comes, but South Medford looking solid, and they improve to 3-0. Meanwhile, for McNary, continuing to make strides towards competing in this conference. They showed some life on offense. They were able to move the ball, obviously much more so than South Medford, killed by penalties tonight.
Yeah, McNary, they came out swinging. They had that onside kick attempt that went awry, but then they forced a fumble. Smedema was electric today. The quarterback, Gage Smedema, he had a few passes that were dropped. He had a consistent pass rush in his face, and he was still making plays. You think back to Roman Burris. Remember that fake punt that South Medford tried, and Burris just absolutely blew it up. There was some very positive plays for McNary. The screen pass was working today if they avoid those holding penalties. The read option was working. So I think if you're Connor Astley and McNary, you talk to your team and say, all right, we lost that game, took some lumps, but there's a lot to be happy about because they made it to the red zone 3 times and forced a fumble today against a South Medford team that's got a chance to make a deep playoff run this season.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so if you're McNary, you got to clean up the flags and you got to find a way to finish drives. Like you said, made it to the red zone 3 different times, including early in the game. Turnover on downs. That could have set the tone in a very different way. We could have been talking about a different football game if McNary is able to come away with points on one of those first couple of drives in which they go turnover on downs and then they miss the field goal and then another turnover on downs most recently here in the fourth quarter. Defensively for McNary, just couldn't compete size-wise. Just South Medford won this game in the trenches, barely had to throw the ball. Just bigger bodies and stronger offensive linemen compared to the defensive linemen of McNary. That was a big difference.
It was, and it was also just such a great job by Bill Singler and the coaching staff. They just stuck to the game plan. They didn't get greedy. They didn't say, all right, let's try a play action deep shot here. Let's do something fancy. No. They just stuck to the ground game, stuck to the power runs, and why not? That's South Medford's bread and butter in a game like this where they physically outmatch their opponent. And that's not to say South Medford can't throw the ball. There was 2 completions. Schwartz was 2 for 2 through the air today. The other pass play the Panthers called, he just took off and ran. So they can throw the ball, but when you don't have to, hey, play it safe and run it. And that's what South Medford did. Dominant fashion today. Looking good.
So 9-game regular season. We are officially a third of the way done. Both these teams are with their seasons. And South Medford will be facing South Salem at home next weekend on Friday night. And then meanwhile, McNary will be taking on Sheldon in Eugene next Friday night. So South Salem for South Medford and at Sheldon for McNary. Those are the next opponents as we have entered conference play for both of these teams. So the final on the scoreboard, South Medford wins 35-0. 5 touchdowns for the Panthers tonight, adds $50 to the Rogue Credit Union Touchdown Club account. Through 3 games now, South Medford has earned a good amount of money for the Rogue Credit Union. On behalf of Chris Clayton, Maui Kalama, I have been Sean McPherson. South Medford wins it 35-0. Thank you for joining our coverage here on Table Rock Sports, and have a great night.